fake cards are becoming a growing epidemic. It is really hard to spot fakes if you don't know what you're looking for. Now, a lot of people will say, why do we care? Why do we care that there's fakes around? Why do we care that they are printing cards that are super expensive that I could just throw in my deck for pennies on the dollar? And when we're talking about cards like Liliana the Veil, which we're starting to see a lot of really good fakes of the Innistrad Liliana the Veil, when we're talking about cards that people spend hard-earned money on and go to eBay or TCG Player or any of these other places to buy these cards, like a Mox Opal, right? Mox Opal right now is about $80, $90. And if you can't spot a fake card, how are you going to protect yourself? How are you going to understand that what you're buying is a card that actually has zero value? And that is a big part of what I'm going to focus on in these next 3 videos. Much like this Chalice of the Void, on how you can sit there and protect yourselves against fake cards when you are purchasing cards. Now, is there anything wrong with, say, buying proxies and putting them in your deck to play kitchen table Magic? I don't really think that there is, per se, a big problem with that. But knowing what you're buying into, and as well as being honest when you're either reselling those cards, not everybody is as honest as some other people. And we take a look at, say, for instance, this Vampiric Tutor. There are many cards, much like this Vampiric Tutor, we can even zoom into that V a little bit more, that are highly sought after and wanted for, say, commander decks, legacy decks, and end up garnering a lot of demand for these cards, much like this Legends Mana Drain. Now, granted, these cards are very easily, just by holding on to them, touching them, and sort of feeling them, you can really tell that they're fake. But to the honest observer across the table, while you are playing cards, and for somebody who is, say, being dishonest and saying, hey, I'll trade you this card for blah, 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 and you trade this for the real card value, there lies the problem of dishonesty and leading people to be scammed. And I think that is the most important part that I want to think about, talk about while we are observing these fake cards. I have spent a lot of time with these cards, probably more time than most people would even care to do, but I'm not a professional card analyzer, grader, or anybody who I can say is, yeah, I can spot every fake in the world. And again, it's not hard to spot fakes, but when you get cards that are very similar to this, that are very close to both the feel, smell, and malleability of the card, when you're just looking at a card across the table, you may have trouble distinguishing a real versus a fake. I'm gonna throw up some photos, and this is an example of some cards that we're gonna see. And I want your opinion. I'm going to mark these as Exhibit A and Exhibit B. Let me know in the comments below which cards you believe are fake just by looking at the picture, and which ones are real. And I think some of these answers might be very astonishing. And this is this is going to be sort of that experiment. Can you spot a fake just by sitting next to another card? Those cards that just went by, let me know in the comments below. I will also put those pictures back up at the end of this video. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to give you my initial reaction to the cards as I open them up.
What's up, guys and gals? This is Chris from Legendary Mana, and today we have a very special thing to open. Now, I'm going to be recording this video probably over a matter of a couple of weeks, but this was the intro, and I'm going to bring in a friend of mine, and we're going to do some fun comparisons. In case you didn't or couldn't tell by the description down below, we have in our hands a new generation of Magic the Gathering fake cards, and we're going to put these to the test. We are going to look at them, we are going to scrutinize them, we're going to compare them to other cards, basically the real life counterparts. But this is the first part of a very multi-part series. So first impression, well, this is interesting. Wow. So Bayou, Tundra, Scrubland, Plateau, Taiga, Savannah, Volcanic Island, Badlands, Tropical Island, Underground Sea. So basically, all of the duels? Huh. Let's see. Wow. I mean, this is a brand new card. This is a real card. Let's see this. Okay, so the paper is definitely different. Again, this is a real card. This is the fake card. But I'm not gonna lie, this is before we actually, can you see that? Before we actually get into it later, this is actually quite scary. I'm just smelling it. Wow. Did they like really? This is interesting. I can't wait to get the real ones. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Again, this is gonna be, this is original Onslaught, Bloodstained Miter, Verdant Catacombs, Marsh Flats. So all of the fetches. Oh wow. I gotta be careful not to get these too close to my real cards, man. Wow. I mean, if you weren't paying attention, like these, wow, these are impressive. Like I said, I want to spend some time with these. Even the, like, Liliana of the Veil. Now, obviously, these aren't holo stamp foil cards. Now, you can tell so far, I mean, like, right off the bat, looking at it in the camera, you can tell that the art is slightly off. There's another Lily. Mana Drain. Wow. Legends. Wow. Path. Can it focus that close? And I'm going to put these under and take some pretty good photos of these. Demonic Tutor. Like, oh, here's a, whoa, that's pretty scary. I gotta make sure I don't get these too close to the real thing. These, oh man. This is really interesting. I mean, these do feel like playing cards though. I mean, not entirely, but this is quite scary. Well, I'm going to, oh, Black Lotus. Yeah, you can really feel, like this is, you can definitely tell that these are fake. But I want to take a look at the printing. Mox Jet, so all the Moxes. Okay, Chalice of the Void. I have one of these too. You can tell. I mean, these are pretty scary though. Like if you're not paying attention, these can be pretty close. But I will be going to the next phase where I'll be taking some pictures and comparing them to real cards and really putting these to the test. So yeah, we'll move on to the next part.
I wouldn't say now after looking at them that I would have the same reaction now that I've actually, you know, put my hands on them and spent some time looking at them. But one thing to understand is not everybody has seen a fake card, right? So if you are somebody who wants to protect themselves against fake cards, this is going to be a 3-part video. This first video is going to give you my initial reactions of basically these cards. Unedited, untethered, and literally just me flipping on the camera, opening the package and looking at these cards. The next video, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth, and I'm going to talk about the pictures that I took. I took over 130 photos, I believe, of these photos, comparing them to the originals. And going to just sort of go over my analysis in depth of what I thought of these cards, as well as I'm going to have a special guest on who has a lot of experience at looking at cards to either being fake or real. Not only a seller, but an investor in cards. So we'll have a special guest on the second video. The third video is gonna kind of be like tips and tricks, like newbie ways of spotting fakes without spending a lot of time looking at them. You know, like if you've never touched a fake before, and kind of give you guys sort of a low budget way of figuring out, is a card fake or not? And surprisingly, there's a lot of basic ways to do it, just by holding the card or doing some, you know, tests that don't require you to do all these fancy tests like the rip test or the light test or anything like that. Now, the light test will always give you a clear distinction if a card's fake or not. However, if you're sitting there in the middle of a trade, you're not going to be like, oh, hey, let me take this Black Lotus into the bathroom and shine a light on it so I can see through it, make sure it's real, and, you know, have you two huddle into a bathroom. Yeah, that's just not going to happen at a game store. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to spot them, how to sort of protect yourself against these new age fakes.